Greetings from snowy downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Today is Monday, February 23rd, 2026. It's 5 o'clock p.m. and 24 degrees Fahrenheit, but with the wind, it feels like temperature is reading 10 degrees. Hopefully, me being bundled up keep things warm enough for me. We'll see how the wind impacts the audio on the stream. I was thinking about bringing my one microphone I had at one time for the phone, but lost track of where that's at the moment. But we'll still walk through downtown Cleveland. I mean, I don't wish for more snow for the city of Cleveland in the sense that Cleveland's dealt with it much of winter already, but it is cool to see some flakes falling at the moment, and I don't think this is the type of snow that's really going to significantly accumulate. Terry says, as always, thanks for your videos. We appreciate the efforts. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, I thought the snow was going to be all done earlier. Well, one thing, it ended up being, at least in my estimation, based on what they were saying, quite a bit less snow than they were projecting for the Cleveland area. But yesterday I was watching a video on New York City by Walks of Wall Street. I used to watch Action Kid, but he's overseas now. Walks of Wall Street does a good job of highlighting New York City, so it was fun seeing the snow stream there. They were supposed to really get blasted overnight though, as well as a lot of the East Coast with some like blizzard-like conditions. Cleveland appears to be escaping the blizzard-like conditions, but yes, it is cold, Linda. That feels like temperature being 10 degrees. Hi AK, welcome to the live stream. Alright, so I was trying to think about what to vary things up with. Probably deviate off of Euclid. Just to waiting for the health line over there. So let's turn down East 21st Street and walk over to Chester. Linda says the wind sounds wicked. I mean, there's spurts where it's windy, but probably, if I had to guess, the wind on the stream might have sounded like a lot of crackling, like shh, but that's probably the phone just amplifying the wind. I'll try next time to find my one microphone microphone accessory for the phone. We're walking underneath the University or Student Center Plaza at CSU. There was a water main leak that affected part of the library and duplicating department. I'm not sure, I can't remember if they announced that those places are back in service. I know the rest of Rhodes Tower was up and running pretty quickly. Welcome again, Fernando. Good evening. trying to see down the corner. There was supposed to be a food place taking the spot of Arby's down at East 22nd in Chester, but I still see paper bags in the windows. So you never know with some of these places. Sometimes you'll see a coming soon for a certain establishment. And they truly do come at some point, but other times it's like they begin, then don't end up completing. Because that seems like it's been a while. I thought that place would have like moved in by now if they were moving in. Across the street you've got the Medical Mutual Pavilion, where the tennis courts are housed, usually under heat or AC depending on the type of season. A few weeks ago during the winter storms that Cleveland was having, the heat got knocked out of there for what seemed to be like a week. They kept sending email updates to people on campus. Unlike some previous times when I've been doing my winter live streams, I actually do have the boots on today. I think the conditions are probably, I could still have managed with tennis shoes, but last time I wore the tennis shoes, it was because I was taking a direct flight right after being downtown, so I didn't want to lug heavy boots on a plane. That's not the case here. Approaching East 19th in Chester. It's a very tiny road in terms of length. It really just goes to the parking lot. See all the buses for RTA that pass by here. Eventually when they update the signage, I don't know if they'll care to really update the signage if it makes that big of a difference, but technically the 55 line, the Cleveland's, they call it the Cleveland State Line, and would have the branding on the buses in the past. I know they Cleveland State, I believe, did not renew that partnership, so they were supposed to eventually phase out the branding on the buses, like a greenish color with, yeah, you can see right there actually a 55 bus. That's not even the long bus, it's one of the normal size buses, but it has the regular RTA branding. Welcome perishable goods. Yes, on this chilly and gray day. Allocated Brain says a bit windy. John Kirk says, hello Poco Traveler, thanks for venturing out into the cold. No problem. Only thing a little chilly right now is the face, because they don't have my scarf up, because that'll muffle my speech if I have that up. Paul Orr says they got used to the Cleveland State colors, I assume on the buses. Well, let's see this one. This one still has the colors. My guess is, like, I don't think RTA is going to purposely say to themselves, Hey, let's make the effort of stripping the look of all these buses. I'm just assuming that with new buses come into circulation or whatever, you know, they're just discontinuing the upkeep of that. Jose Ortiz says, "What's up, Poco? Love the videos. Thanks for being my window back home." My pleasure, Jose. Thanks for tuning in and supporting the channel. So we're going to cross Chester to the north side of the street once the walk sign comes. There it goes. Wonder if Moe's is still open. That was a tavern. I'll deviate there for a second. I believe Becky's bar is on the next street, meaning on the other side of Conrad's. I've eaten there once. In the mornings I used to walk by Moe's. Never went in there though. Yeah, Becky's is, I don't know if it's part of that red building too, but the building on the opposite side of it is Becky's. Oh, Moe's. Looks like Moe's might be gone. No, it's not gone. I was going to say Moe's is gone because that window looked like, you know, if you look at a window like that, it looks vacant. And you see the gate up, that looks vacant. But then you have a sign lit up there. You have Christmas lights inside. I see an Avengers pinball machine lit up. I mean, it doesn't look like they're open. There's no hours posted. There's a ketchup bottle on the table. Yeah, it's clearly not open, but it doesn't look abandoned. So I just don't know what their hours are, I guess. But one of the reasons I used to pass by here all the time is way back when the 22 bus that I would take to Cleveland State in the mornings would drop you off. Its final stop would be at the corner of 17th and Payne. So it would drop you off next to the Virgil Brown Center on 17th. So right at the corner there. Then the 22 would go that way. Buses would lay over there and then eventually, you know, continue on its route. Now the bus layovers for 22s don't go down this far. They go like to East 6th and East 3rd Street and Rockwell and lay over near that area. What's that sign say? That sign over there says property for sale. Must be the parking lot. We'll just peek at that real quick. Yeah, so this is where we were just standing by Moe's. Right here, I think. Or no, right here was Moe's. And then this is this street here. So this parking lot, and I guess a portion of the parking lot across the street. It must be that one there. So that lot, I think, and this whole lot says property for sale. I wonder if whatever new tenant comes in will keep those as lots if it gets sold, or if they'll transition it to more housing. Linda with an awesome $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Always makes my day when I see that. Let me catch up on some of the other comments. Oh, Linda also said thanks for the live stream, especially with the snow. Here's the parking lot that was on that map too. This one not listed for sale, but I'm just thinking, I don't know if this is normally for Moe's, but it's clearly padlocked. And down here, a Playhouse security vehicle, which which I believe Playhouse Square is what's taking over the Greyhound station area, which we'll be headed to next. Let me look at the comments though. Donald says, first time I caught you live. I used to live in Cleveland from 1993 to 2003. Nice to catch you live. That's great, Donald. I know sometimes it's hard to catch live. Sometimes it's hard to know when someone's going live. If you guys aren't aware of this and you are interested, if you're subscribed to Poco Traveler, near the settings there's also typically, I think it's a bell icon or some other small icon. If you click on that, you can select an option to receive like a notification on your phone, for example, whenever we start a live stream or post a video. Some people like that feature. I used to do that with him in New York, but again, then when he's overseas, I just don't have the same degree of interest, so I don't have those notifications on. But back then, it was always helpful because when I would get that notification, I would know to tune in as opposed to checking throughout the day. But then also, I've tried scheduling live streams in the past so people know when it's coming. I just forgot to do that for this one. Let's see here, what else do we have here? Walter Minifonzo said, thanks for taking a walk for us winter shut-ins. Wayne says, hey Poco, back in the day you could ride RTA for a quarter, while here in Akron a fare was 40 cents, go figure. Yeah, RTA in my time when I was a kid, I guess I didn't ride the RTA bus when I was a kid quite, but most of my life it seemed to be fairly the same rates as it is even now. Maybe it's gone up a little bit, but yeah, I definitely know it used to be significantly cheaper back in the day. The barometer I use now for my price comparison is the cost of candy bars, because my mom used to always say when I was a kid, like, oh, I would love a Hershey bar, just a regular size Hershey bar, and when they would be on sale or even normal price, it was like 33 cents a bar. Now it absolutely drives me crazy. My stepdaughter, she loves, occasionally buying sweets, and when she goes to the store, she'll grab like 3 candy bars, and the total comes to $6. And again, that drives me crazy. I'm like, oh my god, $2 for a candy bar that was 33 cents when I was a kid? It's like ridiculous to me. That's part of the reason why when holiday season comes and candy goes to 75% or 70% off or 75% off, I try to take advantage then and load up on some of the chocolate, and even then it's still quite pricey. But anyway, I'll catch up on some more comments in a second. This is the Greyhound station. Unfortunately, I was hoping to get a look inside of it before they closed and took their final ride, but I believe they did that in January, so that opportunity went out the window. I know a couple years ago or a year or two ago there were plans for Playhouse Square to take this over. I forget if they were going to make it like a restaurant venue. I have to look back on my stuff, but Greyhound isn't gone from Cleveland. They are technically located at the Brook Park Rapid Station, so pretty close to the airport, and that's where the Greyhound buses go. I've never taken a Greyhound bus, so I don't know if they've changed the number of routes they do or if it just kept the same and only relocated there. But yes, Greyhound is officially exited downtown, and I don't want to say they built something new. I feel like it's just the same looking, kind of a boring looking seated section next to the regular Brook Park Rapid Station, like connected right to it. And it's just a room with a bunch of seats and maybe a bathroom venue. Let me go back and catch up on some comments now. Appreciate all the comments. I love seeing the engagement. Allocated Brain noted that Cleveland has higher ridership, probably for the RTA, I assume. Kimberly had said, "Hi Poco, been a good minute since..." Sorry, when a new comment comes in, it jumps from where I'm currently at. I'm just catching up. Kimberly had said, "Been a good minute to see you on." Lizzie also saying, "Hi Poco, Moe's opens at 4 p.m. Tuesday to Saturday." Oh, I see, thanks. So I came by and the day they're closed. That's great to know they're still open. Anyway, as we've seen on Euclid Avenue, a lot of those places just have completely folded. Evie King also joined us, saying to stay warm out there. Pizza God says you should have done this walk when it's warmer, like on Saturday. I did do one video on Saturday. It's not posted yet, but a little teaser. So for those of you who regularly watch me, you may know that I do two forms of videos. I do the live stream videos like this, but I also do pre-recorded videos that are in high quality, like 4K quality, with my other camera that's a little DJI Pocket 2 stick. And I had been talking about how over the past year that the camera was malfunctioning a bit, having occasional things where it would just, the gimbal was acting erratic and it would cause weird stuff in the footage, and it was driving me crazy. So I finally have acquired a brand new Pocket 3 recording device, and I got to test it out on Saturday. I did about a 20-minute video, I think, at the West Side Market on West 25th Street and Lorraine Avenue. So I haven't posted it yet, but that'll be my first video being recorded with that. Now, the quality of the video itself should probably be the same. I mean, I still shot it in 60 frames per second and 4K quality, but it'll be curious to watch it back to see how it looks, see if there's any settings I need to tweak on it. Yeah, the one I'm filming with now is not the Pocket 3. The one I'm filming with now is still my old cell phone. Which this cell phone has been problematic too for like the past 2 years, because this camera used to take awesome pictures, and then all of a sudden one day, anytime it's in normal camera mode, it's blurry from the get-go. And I read that Samsung Ultra, I think it's S20, with the Ultra version, there was, I don't want to call it a bug per se, but maybe a hardware malfunction in a lot of these Ultra cameras where people don't know what causes it. Maybe you drop your phone a little bit once and it kind of knocked the hardware inside a little bit loose, but anytime I open the normal camera app, I have to bang the hell out of it several times or shake it just to get a clear quality picture, and it's very, very frustrating for someone who likes to take quick pictures. But that one is still an outstanding issue. Fortunately, when I shoot these videos, I put it in widescreen mode, which actually zooms out from the normal picture length, and that quality still, that's like a different camera, and that one appears not to have been affected. Still got to catch up on some comments, but I just saw that Hernando said that he just saw another live stream in New York and the snow is coming down very hard. Yeah, I'm definitely, when I get home later, going to be checking out. I'll see who did videos. If I usually tune into Walks of Wall Street, but if he's not doing one, New York Walking Show probably does some, and there's other New York streamers too. Just, you know, you can't quite watch them all. Let me see. there's any more cameras I can, or sorry, comments I can check up on. I know Pizza God had said you should have done this walk when it's warmer. Yeah, that was the last one I left off on. People talking about buses, day pass. Yeah, I do remember the allocated rating when it went up to 550 and actually got lowered, and it's been pretty stuck in that spot, locked in there for years. Hoping they don't raise it even with the budget shortfalls. I mean, it's kind of nice having the even $5 for a bus pass, although many people use mobile these days. You know, there's a lot who don't. People saying that old Greyhound station was a cesspool. Although Allocated Brain says that Greyhound station in Cleveland was fancy, and then they had replaced it with, sorry, my comments keep jumping. Replaced it with an ugly station in Brook Park. Oh, so you're saying, well, I know the station in Brook Park from the pictures just looked plain and ugly, but you're saying that the one that was there was not half bad in downtown? Carol Mincy, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I know I'm late on all these. I'm trying to do my best to catch up. Let me skip forward. Donald had said, is Shooters on the Water in the Flats open again? I know the owner sold it. I'm not sure on that one. Alright, I think I'm mostly caught up. Lizzie says, isn't there something that can be used to block the wind? Yeah, I mentioned earlier, towards the beginning of the video, because this was a question last month about getting better audio when it's windy. I do have a microphone, it's just, I haven't used it in a long time and I gotta find it and test it. Someone says, or I think it's Lisa, is that the correct pronunciation? Says I'm on Chagrin Boulevard and it's coming down fast over here in Woodmere. Yes, Kimberly. Anyone who wants to support Poco Traveler, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Got some construction going on across the street there. Let's see what the parking rates are here. Each 15 minutes, $3. 30 minutes, $6. 45 minutes, $9. 1 hour, $15. Is there an event going on, or is this meant for like Playhouse Square parking? $15 for an hour looks... Although I guess it does say all day is the equivalent of 1 hour. So $15 for all day. But still, 1 hour. If you're just going to be down here for an hour, I wouldn't want to park for 15 bucks. Something I'll have to keep in mind next year when Christmas time rolls around. I know I'm already talking about Christmas, but I had filmed my usual downtown Cleveland Christmas decorations video back in December. And then when I was exiting downtown one of the days on the bus, I could see that they actually had a nice scenery around the church here. So that'd be, hopefully I can remember that next year if they have it and highlight it. They also have some lighting near the top of the building that highlights it. Polar says, do these people say press the like button? What's the hidden agenda with that? Well, they're saying press the like button for this video because I always try to encourage it. It helps the more likes a video gets, in my opinion, the more likely it is that YouTube will think it's a valuable video, and more likely they'll suggest it to fellow Cleveland viewers on their homepage. Then they can start tuning in and being aware of the channel. So it's, you know, a combination of that, plus, you know, hitting like. That's common across all of YouTube. Yes, we had 40 watching. Now down to 38 people watching. The Cathedral of St. John. You know, I've been by this building so many times, but I never really paid attention to what it was called. I know over the years they've done various stages of construction, whether it be rehabbing the sidewalk area or some parts of the church grounds. Let's take a look at the statue here. Evie King says, "Hey Poco, what do you think about the Cavs' performance so far and your take on James Harden on the team?" So I'm definitely a Cavs fan. When I heard that they were moving on from Garland, you know, I like Garland, so it sucked on one hand, but I definitely understood it because when you look at his injury and how it's been for like that for a couple of years, and thinking about long-term contract-related matters, it's just like, I don't know if that same Garland that was in his prime is going to click anytime soon. Now, when I heard Harden, James Harden was the piece we were getting back. Of course, James Harden is a, you know, outstanding basketball player, but I had the stigma in my head of like, oh God, here's going to be him coming in and being ball dominant and messing up the chemistry, and no one's going to know what to do. But through the first however many games, he's actually been just like an outstanding fit in the way he's handling his role, delivering the passes and making guys better. Now the big question in my mind is, I hate to say it because I like Evan Mobley too, but when I look at Evan Mobley and the way he plays, and I still feel like he doesn't know what he wants to do on offense half the time. And it's crazy because that, you know, when we drafted Mobley and took him in the first couple of years, I would think to myself, man, this guy is like the future of the NBA. Now I look at him, I'm like, I don't know if he's still great, but he just still seems stuck. And granted, he's coming back from injury, but I don't know. That's sort of where my stance is. But yeah, I think Harden and some of the other depth we've added, now all of a sudden you can put the Cavs back in to contention consideration for this season, even though they lost to a very short-handed Oklahoma City Thunder team yesterday. Someone a couple weeks or month or so ago did a video reviewing a lot of pizza spots in downtown Cleveland. I know they reviewed this one too. I think this is one of the ones they, if I recall correctly, didn't have the best rating on, but if you guys are interested in pizza reviews, try to Google that video. Oh man, I don't know, maybe I was going to go down by the lake and check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like, you know, latest updates on the construction, but maybe I should think better of that because it's already getting windy down this way. It's windy, it's freezing, and there's not a particular rush to see that. I could always cover that in March or April's video, or at least April's video. I'm not positive what my travel plans will be for the month of March yet. Early March, like March 6th to 11th, is when my annual work conference is, going to Orlando. So I'll try to do some videos there. And then I'm eyeballing like the April 1st area, or time frame. Let's see what these statues are here. I guess that's related to the Faux Thing Cafe. I didn't even know that was here. Yeah, I'm eyeballing those dates around when the Guardians would be having their home opener. and I think that's around Easter, close to Easter Sunday if I'm not mistaken. And maybe I could get out to like Jelly Beanville around that time too. So, but I haven't. Yeah, I don't know for sure when the exact dates will be. My hands are already getting a little cold, so maybe I shouldn't do the long walk down to Rock by the Rock Hall today. Oh, sorry, I missed your comment earlier, Kimberly, saying, what's that bell? Yeah, maybe church. Sometimes when I'm so focused on the stream, I don't even hear certain things, so I don't even remember the bell ringing. Home opener, April 3rd, Easter, April 5th. Thanks, Lizzie. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere around beginning of April. Ariel's Place. I assume it's some food area. Look, they got some menus there. Fresh cut fries, $8. I mean, that's always a win when you see fries as the first menu item. Grilled cheese, jerk chicken tacos, shrimp tacos, Polish boy, wings, turkey Philly, smash burger with fries. And they've got some lighter eats, turkey avocado sandwich, some salad, tuna melt, desserts, chocolate cake and strawberry lemon cake. All right, it's got enough of a menu where I would, like if I went here, my go-to would probably be trying a smash burger with fries. It does say fresh halal beef patty for the burger. Or I would definitely do the fries in some capacity. Could also try like a turkey sandwich or tuna melt. Carol says, how many years have you been a Poco traveler? I think I just surpassed 5 years for the channel. I used to shoot videos for showing friends and family when I would do trips. Like my brother and I, we went to New York City in 2019? Yeah, I think it was 2019. Or even when I had my Orlando conference that year in 2019. You know, I shot quite a few videos, which are still fun to look back on, but I did not have my same equipment back then, so all the footage is pretty jittery. So I used to think about going back in time and uploading stuff when I first started the channel to get more city coverage on there, but the shakiness of the footage, and now, you know, over time, more years have passed, so the footage is a little outdated for publishing purposes. I think the only city I ever went back and published retroactively content on was San Diego, and that might have been in the first year of the channel. But yeah, that footage from San Diego was just done only with my non-gimbaled cell phone, old cell phone. Federal Reserve Bank building and the Money Museum, right? What the hell is that? There you got people shouting across the street. I thought this used to be called the Money Museum. Now it says Education and Learning Center. Maybe that's what they're coining it right now. Come in 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Wednesday. Yeah, they're not doing anything bad. They're just kind of like a group of 7 kids jumping and shouting out front of Guy's Pizza over there.
Museum's closed.
Well, I know the museum's closed. He probably couldn't hear me though. I'm showcasing the hours. Someone came on the intercom and said, probably security, saying the museum's closed. It's like, if only the guy knew. I'm trying to promote and give a shout out to the museum. But yes, he's just probably trying to be helpful, thinking I was a person that didn't know. I still have those fond memories of coming down Saturdays. I don't know if the library, I can't remember if the library was open Sundays back in the day, but Saturdays, I told this story last month, I think. Our parents or my mom or dad would park here. We would use that as our weekend fun to go into the downtown Cleveland library, because that's when you could park for free. But now it's payment required daily, seat pay stations, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that's Monday through Sunday, all week. There is no off day for paid parking. You gotta pay to park anywhere downtown at all hours. Oh, when I say all hours, I guess technically maybe like after 10 p.m. you could park. I gotta check back on that, but I think pretty much it's all day you have to pay, with the increased rates as well. I was thinking of cutting through the Eastman Reading Garden, but they do close this often during cold weather seasons. It still looks pretty though. Got the blue lighting. And the fun artwork gang, always trying to read the letters or climb inside. Oh, we actually got some non-shoveled. This is the first snow I've trudged through. Yeah, last month when I did my video here, I was wondering if they would have any snow events, snow tubing being held by downtown Cleveland on the mall. But they had announced last month that the winds had drifted the snow off of the grass pretty much, so that they couldn't do it. And I can see as we pass the Drury Plaza Hotel, formerly home of the Cleveland School District headquarters many years ago, and I'm sure something else well before that. But yeah, the same thing is true right now. You can actually see the grass. So no snow tubing again. I think in order for you to do the snow tubing, you'd have to have fairly significant more snowfall than just that. What you're seeing right here, you'd probably have to truly have a couple of inches, and then maybe not so much wind. Let's see if we can. I'm just thinking of crossing, but it's better go up to the actual crosswalk. I'll let this one car out, and then I'll go. If I see a car I was waiting before I press the button and starting to go out, I usually like to try to wave them in, even if it's for my own safety or insecurity of trusting cars. Oh, that's what it was. Before I launched this live stream, I did not end up doing it, but I saw that the Prism Live Studio app I used, the partner program, or partner app I used in conjunction with my doing these YouTube live streams, launched allowing 60 frames per second on videos, although it did say in the suggestions to, if you do that, to downgrade, maybe downgrade the quality from 1080p to 720p. I was tempted to leave it at 1080p and try 60 frames per second, but I'm like, you know what, for the true monthly live stream, I better keep it as the stable settings, and then I can experiment on something shorter at a different time. I was hoping to show the dog. Oh, there it is. I was just saying, I thought it disappeared. I don't know if he's still running around, but there is a dog that was having a heyday when their owner was throwing the, I don't know if it's a ball or frisbee they were throwing. I'm not going to walk to the rock wall. I know we don't get the best glimpse since we're far away up here, but let's still try to get a quick view. These steps are the crunchy iciness and pretty slick actually. Running down these, you would slip for sure. This part's okay. Oh, that's where I watched the eclipse. Yeah, that's where I videoed the eclipse too. I did a live stream for it. Might catch you if you go back and watch it. You might catch yourself on the live stream. So it actually does look like it's a decent progress in construction, more so than the house construction. So we'll check that out. Let's see what the browns featured on the building or stadium. You got Wyatt Teller, he's gone. Denzel Ward, David Njoku's gone. Antonio will probably be gone. You can see some ice on the lake, but the water nearest to us is flowing. Yeah, I know the wind was bad there. I just assumed you guys probably wouldn't be able to talk or hear me. I was trying to say that 3 of the 4 players who were featured on the banners there on the stadium likely won't be with the team next year. While we have snow on the ground, let me quickly snap a picture here. Ah, darn it. Guess I can't. Another thing that drives me crazy about this phone is I'm consistently deleting my various, not deleting but completely, but uploading old photos and videos to the cloud to create more space. And I swear I often will clear 3 to 4 gigabytes worth of space, and then all of a sudden it must be like the caching of apps. Various apps must see that the space is open and they start eating at it. And then anytime I launch this Prism thing, it takes up space in the background, temporary space that prevents me from taking fresh pictures. I do have my new camera with me that I can pull out, but too cold for me to expose my hand and grab it out. Huntington Convention Center of Cleveland. Out of all the live streams I've ever done, it's probably the first time I've actually walked across the grass, other than maybe a portion of that eclipse day. Let's see, can we find my footsteps if I turn around? Find the footsteps and hear the wind. Alright, so right here is kind of where that wind, the drift ends, and then it looks like we would start. Yeah, like accumulation where you're actually going not too deep. I mean, it's probably 3 to 4 inches at the end here. Maybe 5 or 6 in spots. So if you want a snow tube, you can snow tube on this very last stretch. But it does look fun. I hope I can catch that one day. See people doing it. Pictures of it always looks entertaining. Linda says, is GoPro a better alternative to cell phones for live streaming? I don't know if you can live stream with a GoPro. I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I know there's ways and accessories to do stuff all the time and make things work. Like I know technically with my Pocket 3 or Pocket 2, you could like attach your phone but still stream with the Pocket device. But otherwise, I don't think you can just flat out stream with the GoPro itself. You know, you can do pre-recorded videos, but that's essentially what I have my one Pocket 3, new Pocket 3 device, formerly Pocket 2 device. That's what I use those for. One thing I think at some point, relatively soon, I'm going to do a video showing, even though I'm late to the party, meaning pretty soon they're probably going to come out with the Pocket 4. But I think I'm going to do a video sometime soon showing off what the Pocket 3 looks like, how it compared to the Pocket 2. Pocket 3 is a little thicker, so that'll be interesting when I attempt to do like a bike riding video with it, whether I notice the weight difference. or if it affects the fit that it has with my current chest mount. Caffeinated Misfit says you can stream with a GoPro, but you have to tether to an internet source, and the battery on the GoPro is awful. Oh, I see. So you can sort of connect to a wireless device that you have and do that. Yeah, I've hesitated to do that stuff in the past. I know it can work if, according to like when I used to follow Action Kid again. I believe he used to have some app that would have his cell phone connection and like a backup hotspot, and it would try to use whichever had the stronger signal at the time. So he would sometimes have like 2 to 3 data sources maybe going at once. That's a little bit different. I've just never delved into anything besides what's directly on the cell phone. Let's see, we got stop sign. Let's walk across to Public Square here. Gary says, glad you're live streaming. Kim and I are going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to see the KISS display. Nice. One of these days I'm going to do a video in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've said it too many times about a lot of my videos where I say one of these days. But I still do intend to, still have all these ideas to expand coverage for Poco Traveler. These are things we've shown in the past, but again, it's nice to see it lit up even in partial daytime. The artwork representing the same electric lamp that is across the street with its historical ties. And then Old Stone Church lit up, more visible at nighttime when you have those extra lightings. You probably see me on the YouTube camera, or the Old Stone Church cam on YouTube. Allocated Brain says might need to get permission for commercial video in the Rock Hall. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't shoot or haven't shot in there yet. My fear of that in general. The only thing that makes me, or made me like, maybe I could do it, is when I would look on YouTube, and maybe these people got permission for all I know, but when I would look on YouTube, there's quite a few people who had previously filmed their own like tour, not necessarily the paid exhibits, but through the, well, I guess depending on what type of resident you are, you know, everything could be paid, but I mean the general exhibit area. They were filming. There were quite a few people who did that. But if I ever did it, I'd probably, I don't know if I'd be bold enough to have my Pocket 3 in there and holding it out and recording. I might just be like walking around with my cell phone, trying to be as stable as I can with my hands and stitching footage together. Linda says you need permission to video in national parks now. No, are you serious? Videos for national parks? Right, those, you need the Ray-Ban. I've been thinking that's a technology device I've been potentially interested in too. They're like a Ray-Ban Meta glasses. So it looks like they're actively working on the first floor space of this Sherwin thing, adding some elements of color. there was a worker just here doing something. Well, I know, see, that's the tricky thing. I know a lot of places will say they require a fee for professional photo shoots, but I often interpret that as, like, if you're a photographer saying that you're going to do wedding pictures for someone, like, I know those things often require a fee, but if someone, and I guess my line of work is tough because I think of this as a hobby and I'm posting it to YouTube. Like, is my thing considered professional? I think it's a gray area to a degree because I'm not charging a service fee for people. Yeah, I'll have to look into that with the recording aspect and see what. I mean, I don't know when the next time I'll be to a national park is. I did, I think, back in 2021. That was the last time I did. Well, I did the Bryce Canyon 2021 along with Zion. Did some videos on that in Utah. I did Muir Woods this past year in San Francisco at Bay Area. Did a video on that, but I'm trying to recall if Muir Woods is a national park or a state park. It's a lot of buses, yeah. The cold weather must be getting to my cell phone because I've streamed for 2 hours in the past, over 2 hours without connecting my battery, and it's been okay, but I can already see my battery level is down to 37%, and I know this, I've seen this happen before with my phone where it goes down pretty quickly and all of a sudden before you know it, hits the 20s, and it just goes straight from 25% down to 10%, and then within like a minute the phone shuts off. So we'll see if we can go just a tad longer here. I'm not sure when the ice skating rink will be completed officially for the winter season, but it's got to be getting close. If not, maybe it's done already. Yeah, actually, it probably is done already. Now that I look at the exterior, it seems like they're starting to disassemble it, and some of the other portable stands aren't even up anymore. But we can still go around and look at this projection on the snow that says the land with a bluish font. I don't know if you can, I mean, not bluish font, bluish snow-like thing next to it. Trying to think if that is projecting from there. No. Where is it projecting from? Can't be the blue lights necessarily, right? Because those are just lights and they're on all corners of the square. Someone help me out. Where do you think the projection unit's at? Oh, there it is. I think I at least see light beams pointed down just beyond me right here, which I think is flowing to right there. Alright, well, I would love to go a little bit longer, but like I said, I know it's just gonna cut out soon. I've already lost 6% in the past like minute or two, down to 30%. The only other thing I was going to mention, which I can cover this more at a later time, later month, Cosm Cleveland, which is going to be part of that rock block by Rocket Arena. They have done some more construction of it, and it's supposed to open mid-2027, I think. And they got final approval on the design this week from, I think, the city of Cleveland or whoever approves that. So that was interesting to look at some of the mock-ups and renderings of the exterior. They will, according to that, they're proposing having still some parking spaces near there, although I thought eventually with the rock block they want to have more than just Cosm there, maybe a few other buildings and whatnot. But if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button again. Subscribe to Poco Traveler if you haven't already. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Stay warm and we will see you next time. I am going to try to take a picture of this if my phone lets me have some space after this.